know it was more than 1080p. I think it was more than 1080p.
It has to be definitely more than 1080. I'm hoping it's more than 1080. I'm assuming the minimum would be 1080. If it's lower than 1080, I'm not, definitely not. Definitely waiting. But the way thing is going with Facebook, I don't think they're kind of come out anytime soon with something of a higher model because they fired all of those guys. Most of them. I don't know what they're doing with that department. You saw the recent firings that Facebook did. It's a lot of them from the glasses,
Mm-hmm.
the VR and the glasses development.
It's a thing, man. I mean, it's, it's an investment, but it's not that much of an investment. And if you're really interested in making videos, because the perspective is cool, and then if you can download it right to your phone, and then just re-upload it right to TikTok, upload it to Instagram, YouTube.
It just makes sense. The glasses, one, I'm actually looking for a pair of glasses. I broke mine, and then I was like, oh man, I want to do this VR thing. And I swear, if they had like the more aviator or like rectangle kind of, I would totally get it. But I didn't like the one that they had.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can go to like lens crafters and you can do a try on, or you can do a virtual try on, but you can't get prescriptive lenses. There's certain
It's not even
providers.
about the lens; it's about the frame. I don't like the frames.
Yeah, that's the down. The thing is, they're gonna be big because there's technology in them, but again, I wouldn't make them your everyday wears. I would just use them specifically for content.
Yeah, nah, I get you. I wanted to make. Oh, I wanted to make it an everyday wear, anyways. Because I was like, I need a pair, and if paying a few $100 just to get that, recording feature whenever you like, instead of just like pulling out your phone and looking stupid. I mean, actually, that makes a lot of sense. You just tap a button, and then boom, you got recording. And that's perfect, and it would probably sync up to your phone and save. That's great. That's efficiency. Like that makes a lot of sense. I just don't believe it's catching on. The main reason is because they're not diversifying the frames. I think a lot of people would buy it if they just found that instead of like one specific grade, but because they're just using the frames that a lot of these companies, they're not even popular. Like it's just like kind of, I don't know why. Give me a Maui gem and this technology and a fusion, I'll buy it now. Oh, well, let's see. But recording wise, but content creation, obviously not. Well, the content I want to make isn't going to be like me recording out in public. It's going to be probably using AI mainly. I mean, that's why I want to do this now, is because there's a lot of these AI video maker, content creator apps, and you would just prompt it and it can produce a video. Yeah, you're going to have to pay like maybe a few dollars on a video, but that's not bad at all. You get that, and you would just post it on TikTok, see how you get a reaction. Then you would post it on YouTube if people like it. That's what I was thinking. So I'd like build up a following on TikTok, see how people get reaction, and then if I'm noticing there is a lot of incline, then I would probably go to YouTube.
Well, you're gonna just do all of them because if you create a YouTube video like a short, then you can just download it and then re-upload it to all your other platforms.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna do that. I was like thinking more YouTube. I would probably, because I bought all the equipment. I have the microphone, I have the camera, I have all that. I have the whole podcast set up. I need to set it up and everything. But I was thinking like YouTube would. I'd do kind of like you know, like a Hassan Piker or like a Destiny kind of thing, where you just like kind of you're having this discussion with like your follower base or whoever's watching, but also producing content. So not just exclusively just jibber jabbing. But yeah, that's ultimately what the goal would be, right? You kind of want to go switch off from content into like just you becoming the content. That way, it's easy. Build the content so you get credibility, so people actually have a reason to listen to you. Right? Makes sense. mean, if things keep going the way they're going, just everybody was going to be able to make content. It's going to be as easy as you on right now on an AI. So uh, the game is to beat them at the race. So you want to get to becoming like some sort of public media figure while this technology is developing. So in the time where it becomes easy for everyone, you just already kind of built yourself up.
Well, no matter how hard you try, you're never going to be able to compete with the Instagram girls because even the hottest chicks in the effing world, some of them only have 1,500 subscribers. And they're posting aggressively and they don't have the subscribers. So it's so competitive to get um, subscribers. Anyways, I'm just saying if you study and you read books, and you make it, educational process, at least you're killing two birds with one stone. You're making yourself more intelligent while creating content. Just having endless conversations isn't going to intellectually develop. You're not doing any personal development. You may
Sure,
think
when
you
you're just
are.
discussing with randos, you're not gonna, obviously, you're gonna have to look into the information. You're gonna just try to, like, substantiate the information, some sources. Obviously, know how to write a paper. So that's all this is. You don't need to become PhD level or a professor to be able to present content and present the proof for whatever you're saying, or at least some sort of like what is it, reference. So no, you can do that. I'm just thinking about this just like as you would write an essay. You write an essay, you post all the references, and you deliver the paper. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be an expert in history to discuss. You don't need a professor in history to discuss history. As long as you are using credible sources, or like the professor's book, for example, you could reference whoever. That gives you credibility. Your opinion doesn't matter, true. But I don't know. I'm assuming that's general advice, not just. I do read. I just don't read everything. There's no reason to, especially in a time where you have audiobooks and you have AI. You need a book. Well, I'm searching something. Whatever you're searching, whatever you can even like make a project for your AI to analyze all your searches and to like categorize them and see like how you map what topics are you interested in, what topics are you not. Like it can analyze that. Based on that, well, hey, this is your interest on. Give me a portfolio of everything I discussed. Give me a map this out. And we'll do that for you. You mapped it out, and then based on that, like, write me an essay on what do you think, like, on collecting all this information here. It might have been sporadic for me, like for you, let's say, just giving an example. Write me based on this, if this is how the layout of the information that I've been searching is, if based on this, what do you think my aim is? What is my aim? What do you see I'm going with all this? It can tell you that too. That's how you know. And then from there, that's your project. That's whatever you need to do. That's your thing. You do that. Now you just like, hey, you need to set up a plan. Is everything in this specific framework? Is it consistent? That's why you would ask for an essay or something. Like you want to see if there's a beginning and conclusion, kind of build up argument. That's all. And if it is, if it's all adding up and there's a beginning and an end, that's it. You have your thesis.
Well, it sounds like you have everything figured out.
I have been. What you think I'm having these conversations for no reason, just to like, I don't need to have a conversation with Dum Dum and Slow Mo. I don't need to have that. I'm having it because I want to see what their talking points are. and if their talking points are registering, well, those are the ones that I'm going to keep an eye on. So if you're making historical arguments, if you're making legal arguments, that's what my angle is. If so, I've combined all these things, whether it's Zionism or Jewish history or Messiah. All of these fit within. They all lead to one another.
Well,
So
until I hear you read a book as opposed to just talking, then I'll know you're making real progress.
Why do I need to read a book for you? Do you want a book off my shelf and not just start reading it? What's that going to do for you?
No, I mean, put it on YouTube, put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram.
Why do people want to hear people just read books?
I'm in a book club. I create audiobooks. I just read books all day long.
That's great. But is that going to get you views and followers?
It's getting views. It's getting followers. I got 6,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, but it took you a very long time, let's say. That's not...
Yeah,
it's not
really long, an insane long time, because the algorithm doesn't care about a bald white guy. The algorithm wants to show curvaceous women. If I was smart, I would hire an actress and multiple actresses to just create audiobooks in bikinis.
Yeah, okay, I mean...
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now you like it. You're like, oh, I can get chicks to come to my house and read books in
I'm
bikinis.
sure you would get
Oh, it's genius! It's fucking
genius. Whoever this girl is, you're gonna have to pay her. It's not. I just don't see. You get what I'm saying? It's not production cost wise. It's not efficient.
Well,
Unless you have some girl, your girlfriend or your wife or whatever. I mean, Bart Ehrman, if you want to take an example of what you're saying, Bart Ehrman has, I believe, his daughter kind of like co-hosting with him. Yeah, she's not running a bikini, but she's got that nerdy hot look, and it makes you want to pay attention. So it's like, oh, who's this chick? And then, yeah, so I get what you're saying. Women are definitely, they're catchy, and people want to see them. But I wouldn't build my... I just think what your model is not working. In a day, in an age where millennials and Gen Z, they're not reading the way the older generation. No. Whether that's good or whether that's bad, is beside the point. You have a market, you want to engage with this market. You don't try to change the market. I don't know, something to think about. Yeah. I don't think there's anything topic-wise that we have. I mean, the only thing which I think is what attracted you to the theme that you have going on is the more like Kabbalah or mysticism side, like the whole divine geometry, numerology stuff. Like that is also something I'm incorporating, but I'm mainly coming at this from an Islamic angle, from the Quran, from our tradition of like what you would call mystics. I don't call them mystics, just call them.
Well, I've read a lot of Rumi, and the feeling you get when you read Rumi and the wisdom of it, it's unparalleled. So I would say that.
Yeah, where do you think he gets it from?
He's an explorer, and he's a poet, and he's a publisher.
All of this is after Al-Arabi. Al-Arabi is the one who influences the Persian and Turkic world, and they start adopting this. So it's like, I wouldn't say it's our version of Kabbalah, but in a way it is, because he's the one. A lot of what you see in Kabbalah is just simply Islamic kalam, or Neoplatonic, or I don't like to use Neoplatonic, Aristotelian Platonic fusion with Islamic thought. So in that sense. Yeah, so, and when this gets mapped out with the Quranic language, which is what Al-Arabi did, it starts sounding extremely poetic and extremely spiritual. So, and that's what influenced them. And it's Al-Arabi, actually, or what you would call Ibn al-Arabi.
عفوا أنا بعرف شوي عربي حبيبي.
Yeah, his name is Al-Arabi, Ibn al-Arabi. You know him. Well, he's really popular. If you just type in Ibn Arabi, you're gonna get him, and he's he's practically the crux in where Kabbalism and a lot of like the Akbarian tradition is based on. So
Well,
it,
that's all
it
great
probably,
and dandy, but I mean, I like reading books.
yeah, if you do, well, I'm giving you something to read. Ibn Arabi has Futuhat al-Makkiyah, the Meccan openings, and in that, which is a 10,000 corpus encyclopedia practically, within that is the first mentions of what you would even call today string theory.
Yeah.
So he talks about the string and the dot and it's him. He's the first one. All of this is in his stuff. He's the one. All that Rumi language. He's the one who does all that. He's your guy. They all take from him. If you're interested, since you're all into Kabbalah.
I'm not just into Kabbalah. I'm into all kinds of different. I'm into every esoteric uh, associated, to major religion. um, but what I've noticed is the symbols are so universal. It's just it's in everything.
So you did notice.
Yeah, it's just never. But you do have to kind of you wanna. I like Thanksgiving because I put everything in my mouth. So that's the best flavor.
If you like the divine geometry and you like the numerology and you can recognize it, which I've only very recently, had this like kind of awakening. I'm calling like I'm still awakening to this, but to see it all, whether in all the scriptures, to be able to see this, if you already can, I highly recommend reading the Quran.
Well, I was listening to it last night. Sam was reading it, and I've read it myself. And what I don't think people realize is, everybody says is that Muhammad took away or basically gave us monotheism, because they were idolaters and pagans. But
forget about that. You're on a new level now. You're claiming you can see the pattern. That's what you're claiming.
No, what I'm trying to say is in the Quran, there's the pattern, but what people don't recognize is it's a cult. Muhammad was a magician in the same way that Jesus was a magician, and so it's the same game. It's magic.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's not magic, bro. You're claiming you can understand divine geometry.
It's Muhammad's poetry, and it's not that good. It's very rudimentary.
Okay, so you don't see then. All right. Well, the thing is, if you do see the divine geometry and the numerology, and you can see it, you understand what they're trying to discuss, and like Kabbalah, where they get this from, and you figure out that tradition. All you have to do now is just go back through what you would say, whether the Hebrew Bible, or whether the Gospels, or whether the Quran. You're going to see this at different grades. I believe the Quran is absolute when it comes down to this. Like, you can even see this in stories like Jesus, like when he breaks the bread, and how many people he gives the bread to, and what this means, because this is a consistently repeated theme that you see. Goes back all the way to Egypt and stuff like that. So you can tell if you keep track of the numbers and the theme, and some of the and you have an eye for the geometry, you will see it. And the thing about the Quran, it's everywhere. Everywhere. The whole Quran is this. It's all the whole thing. You will see it everywhere. That's why the Quran is able to give us, is the only religion that's able to give you a science, a mathematical science. There's no other religion that can do this for you. Produce it right off just by you understanding the Quran. Once you see the numbers and the pattern, immediately you can get a mathematical science. You can get algebra. Not just algebra, you can even get calculus from the Quran. It's there. It just doesn't describe it in the terms that you would say scientific, academic, but it is described. Absolutely. The very methods of how to eliminate a remainder, like double derivatives. You can find that. You can find algebra. That's why Muslims developed algebra and algorithms. It's because it's already there. That's the thing people ain't telling you. It's already there. So at this point, how did Muhammad know this? There's no way he could have been able to comprehend like algebra on his own. If he did, then you're talking about a genius of his time. You're talking about a genius that humanity will never see again. It's
Well,
impossible.
genius, the whole one of the purposes of studying all this stuff is to create the genius effect within you, and essentially, I don't know. It's like gigahertz, megahertz. You're a computer system, and this information, because all these stupid atheists don't realize that God is some type of intelligence, a transcendent super intelligence, and
Exactly.
so what you're really trying to do is merge with a super intelligence and thus become super intelligent.
Well, I believe a lot of the religion also within it is the capsule. So you could think like if you like that book that talks about how to restart civilization, which kind of I don't know if you've seen it, but it's kind of gone viral. This whole you buy it and kind of supposed to like and literally if civilization got reset tomorrow, you would know how to like rebuild civilization at least. The same thing. I believe these revelations contain within them this information capsule, this fundamental stuff in a way that can like be memorized and it's catchy in a way that can be transported through time via memory. And the Egyptians didn't rely just on, I don't think they relied on, they did it using archaeology, using the buildings, the structures. So they made structures that can, fight against the withering of time, in that sense,
Well,
which I think is
books are a continuity of consciousness, and so if you read a book and you have understanding of it, you are literally taking in that deceased person's consciousness.
yeah, yeah, I would agree.
It's a
Yeah,
memory.
sure.
Yeah, it's an external hard drive, and so people who think they want to live forever, you should probably just write a book.
That is one of our advices. One of the three things that you can do to continue your memory in the world is either you have children and you raise them right to remember your name, or knowledge you leave behind, like a book, science, whatever, some achievement, or and a charity. You would leave behind like a lot of money, and you have a charity, and this will continue your name after. These are the three ways that you would. This is what you're encouraged to leave behind in the world. At least one of these three.
Mhm. Well,
Because when you're in the
I'm
next world,
messaging all these girls on Hinge right now. Hi, beautiful. I would love to take you to dinner and spoil you with shopping bag emojis. And I just got to tell you, I didn't know it, but now I know it that despite all of this female rhetoric about feminism or
you just realized this.
empowerment, that even that every single girl essentially devolves
When did
into a
this ever change?
prostitute when you tell them you're gonna spoil them. It's like it's shocking to see how many people respond positively, but I understand psychologically why people respond to it. But from like an ethical, moral virtue, you just see the lack of any kind of virtue or integrity in people or in these women that I'm messaging as an experiment. Because when I say spoil you, even though I may use a bag, shopping bag emojis, I just want to spoil you with love, not my checking account.
Yeah, she doesn't want women don't not just they're not looking. Love is a bullshit term, anyways. You should know love is developed over time as you build a relationship of respect and care. Not something that Cinderella story. You just like kind of meet eyes and then butterflies and then there's love. No, there's no such thing. Women want to be taken care of. There's traditional roles, and they're looking for a man that can fulfill this. Regardless, obviously there's a benchmark. Everybody has like what they're willing to settle with or not, and that same thing for women. They're willing to settle with you. Not everybody, even if you have money, but money definitely increases your chances, no doubt about it. You could be a handsome guy, you got no money. I promise you, you're not really gonna get that many women. And if you do, it's only gonna be up to like a few dates, and then they're gonna realize, and then you're just gonna bounce. That's just women in general. They want to be taken care of. Men are providers. These are traditional roles. If a man can't provide, he has no business pursuing a woman. That's how I see it, and you understand that, they understand it, whether they're conscious of it or not.
Well, I mean, love is supposedly, the secret name of God. So,
Oh,
uh,
when did you become Christian?
I mean, it's a four-letter word. So the secret name is.
Hey, Bobby, you think means love?
No, I'm saying that the four-letter word, the number four, is, God is not three letters. It's God is four letters. So love is just like an overlay on the secret
Don't
name.
listen to the Jews that came back from Babylon. They don't know.
Don't listen to the Babylonian Jews.
Yeah, because a lot of the corpus that you see is written by the ones who came back from Babylon. Not, then we don't even know if these are the actual people who got exiled or not, because they say 80 years. I don't necessarily. I'm not seeing 80 years here. I don't think
But
you
yeah,
come
but
back with a new way
YH
of writing.
YHVH or Yad He Vav He, it's a meditation for relaxation. It's the same thing as Rabbanu Shalom. It's a mantra. That's all it is. It's just to calm your mind down because God lives in your silent space in the silence. So it's all a psychological
It just
manipulation.
means La ilaha illahu. That's all
Hmm.
it is. It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
It
Different.
means
It's.
something. Who La ilaha illahu. We say there is no God but He.
I get it, but
In
the
Semitic,
whole
you can
point is you
describe
have to
this in four
chant.
words.
You have to chant these memes essentially, these metas, in order
It's the
to
same way
communicate
we do
with the
peace
super
be upon
meta.
Him.
Yeah,
Just like how we do peace be upon Him, and then we say BPUH. Peace be upon Him. Is the same thing. Yode Vav La ilaha illahu. It's literally the same thing. It's Iliyahu. It's who? Who is He? Who He?
I get it, but this app and all your activity on it has not created peace for yourself or for other people because it's conversational hypnosis, not
I'm not trying to
sacred
create
chanting.
peace.
Well, you should be if you want to connect
The
with
world isn't meant for
the
peace. The
source
world
of
is meant for
intelligence.
struggle.
Well, peace
Israel
is,
means struggle.
I get it, but part of the strategy of victory deals with war and peace. So, I mean, I'm just telling you that
How are you gonna? If you had the chances right now, if you had the power, the opportunity to bring about global peace, you're the emperor of the world now.
Mhm.
How would you do it without war?
I would just go within. There's no other way to truly do it. Is go within, which is really
Then what?
within yourself.
Okay, people have different traditions to go within themselves, and they that's fine. They already have this.
I get it, but I'm just telling you that I like to put everything in my mouth, not just one tradition. And so, people who choose only one tradition, they may be missing out on the cornucopia of flavors that are out there. And when you have other flavors to compare and contrast, it deepens the meaning and understanding of all of them. So, if you're going to declare yourself a Muslim and ignore other faiths and their sacred texts, like let's say Buddhism or Hinduism,
Well, Buddhism is a philosophy. Not necessarily a theistic religion.
well,
Doesn't
Jewish
necessarily preach
philosophy,
theism.
Muslim, Islamic philosophy, they are
Hinduism
all
is a
philosophies.
Hinduism is a pantheon, no different than Roman pantheon.
It's
There's
not, it's a
multiple
philosophy. You
temples.
should read the Upanishads. It's a philosophy.
You can read the Vedas. There's a million things.
Yeah,
you
read
can
the Vedas
in
too. It's
Hinduism.
philosophy, but it's sacred
Okay,
chanting.
but they are not necessarily on the same page. If you go and look at the Vedas, for example, there's no concept of reincarnation. There's a strong monotheistic sense, and not only that, some of the description.
It's sacred chanting to the
Allah.
deity. It's just meditation. That's all I'm saying. I don't care.
No, it's not. It's
It is.
information. The Vedas
It's
contain
information
the
to
same information, a lot of the
relax.
same. No, it
It's
contains that
content
sacred
that should bring you
numerology.
contentment. That's the whole
See,
point.
you don't get it. It's pointless. If you just read, if you're looking into Kabbalah just for the sake of spiritualism, then you'll never find it. What Kabbalah, what this Sufism, what this Platonism is all about, it's about gnosis. You
Yep.
cannot obtain you cannot obtain this through spiritual practice. You need to intellect. You need information. You need knowledge. It's the only way. This stuff is gnosis. This is not spiritual yoga nonsense.
It
This is
is.
not what it's
Yoga
not that.
is gnosis.
No, it's
It's what the
not.
word means. Yoga means yoke
How can
or
you
egg.
obtain knowledge without learning?
You can't. I mean, but actually, in the end, you can, in a way, let it go. But again, it's just content, and you're not going to want to let it go because it's like watching your favorite TV show.
No, it's you want to develop things properly. You need to have metaphysics. You need to look into physics.
I
And
get it,
you
but
need to
look at the
hold
word
into.
metaphysics. The word meta in front of the physics implies that the word, in the Bible, the word became flesh. So, again, we are talking about words to induce a Gnostic state.
I'm not sure if we. The word became. I don't even want to go there. But I agree. This is talking about logos and the notion
Hmm.
of logos and knowledge and intellect, and
The,
obviously
the
you're dealing with
easiest
a
way
logos
to
theology.
the easiest way to do it is through music, and it's the most enjoyable way to do
I
it.
don't. That's not the way of the Kabbalists or the Platonists or the Sufis.
It's
It's
all
through
music. Your
gnosis. It's an
body
intellectual
Your
pursuit.
body is a
Pursuit.
musical instrument, and recitation of these sacred texts is essentially music because what you're doing when you're creating music is you're putting yourself into a deep hypnotic flow state, and you're no longer actually performing the music with any type of conscious awareness. Your body goes into like a
How
fully
many
automated
spheros
state.
are there? How many intellects are there?
There's 10, you could say it's 10, not 11, 10, not 9, but you know, I'm not doing Kabbalistic magic ceremonies to um,
You think this is magic?
Kabbalah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to essentially command spirits and angels to do their bidding and become
That's what they
subservient.
want you to think. What they're trying to find is, you'd say, the key or the description of reality, how reality actually works. What they want is the way Solomon commanded the earth at the time. So what they're looking for is whatever, if what happened with Solomon is true, and this actually happened, this means that the laws of physics do allow this. The world does allow the things that it means that we lack technology, we lack an understanding of reality that allows us to do these things. And they're
Oh,
trying to find it. They're rebuilding it. And when you hear angels and you hear, this is a mask for something else. And if you want to look at what today, the pure, like stripped down of all that, it's called string theory.
yeah.
That's what it's called. So, and what are they doing with string theory? They are currently 10 to the 500 combinations. So they're looking for the combination. They can't find it. So now they're resorting to humans, ingenuity. The collective humans work better than computers, anyways. So that's why we have AI technology now. That's why they gave it to us. So because maybe through us they will find us. Maybe through a moment of genius or something.
It's not
We'll find
they
it.
are going to find it through us. You have to find it within yourself. That's where the secret is
I'm
resting.
just telling you what they're doing, like string theory wise and all that. What is all that? What they're actually doing? String theory, and now with the quantum mechanics and trying to listen in and try to get the information. All of that has already been written. This is already in the Quran. The double slit extruded right there tells you exactly step by step. It's already there. All of this is already there, and I already know what they want. They're never gonna find it. They can't find it without, I don't even know if it's, what I'm trying to do is actually find it because I hold to revelation. So I believe that God would have described this within his text. And so what we need right now is a theory. We need an explanation of everything. That's one. That includes all the new findings in quantum mechanics and black hole and all that. All of that now, because the problem is they refuse to give us an explanation of reality. They're like, just shut up and color and do the math. We don't know what this means.
Well, there's a
That's
document.
not enough.
There's a document called the Shin Shin Ming, which means faith mind, and there's a statement in there that says the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're gonna get. So the truth, you are the truth, and the more you think and more you speak, the further you're getting from it. So
All right, then what's the point? If that's the truth of everything, and that's what it's all about, just some spiritual inner peace, then why continue? That's it. You've figured out the
it's
answer. Just like
because
that.
you lose it. It's like you can always remember how to ride a bike, but this is something that you have to renew daily. It's like lighting a candle,
Do
and
you pray daily?
yeah, I chant daily.
You chant what daily?
Sacred text, sacred scriptures.
Well, Judaism, you pray 3 times a day. You pray 3 times a day?
Yeah,
Ah, well, there you go.
but I don't do Jewish prayers. I might chant Buddhist scriptures. I might chant Hindu scriptures. I might chant Jewish scriptures.
Why does it with Westerners and the absolute, seeking the strange or the opposite? This
That's
isn't gonna
the
provide you
opposites.
anything,
The
man.
opposites create the silver lining. You really need to read Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. I've been studying that text for quite a long time.
Or what did you get out of this that would give me knowledge, not spiritual practice?
You have to read it. Have you read Tao Te Ching?
Well, you gotta give me a reason to.
Because it is the most ancient and primary source book, and I'm sure that it has transversed the world across all major world religions. It's essentially zero and one,
Is
which
it more
is,
ancient than the Vedas?
I'm not sure the exact date of the Vedas, but I'm pretty sure Lao Tzu is 2,300, 2,700 years old. Um,
From
the Vedas are a nice
currently?
compliment, but you just gotta read Tao Te Ching. It's so simple. You
So
can,
it's 700 BCE, 600 BCE. You're talking about Hebrew Bible dating.
yeah, but it's the information
Vedas,
in
I
it.
think, are before that.
Let me get you the link. You're gonna really like it because it is super esoteric, and it's the primary source magic book. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that this book was
Where is its
translated.
origin?
It's the second most translated book in human history.
What is it called again?
Tao Te Ching, which Tao is the great way, and then the word Da or in Ching, Da is I've yeah, I'll pin the link for
Tao
it.
Te Ching.
It's a
Classic of the way and its virtues. Okay.
yeah, it's
Taoism.
the great integrity, and what we have lost in mankind is the great integrity. And so this book, it will help you and possibly help mankind recreate and reconnect with this universal great integrity. It's a powerful book. I've listened to it so many times. I listen to it almost every day.
Describes Tao as the source and ideal of all existence. It is unseen but not transcendent, immensely powerful yet supremely humble, being the root of all things. People have desires and free will. Many act unnaturally, upsetting the natural balance of Tao. The Tao Te Ching intends to lead students to a return to their natural state in harmony with Tao. Language and conventional wisdom are critically assessed. Taoism views them as inherently biased on artificial, widely using paradoxes to sharpen the point. We, you, you way. Literally, non-action or non-acting is a central concept of the Tao Te Ching. The concept of Wu Ye Wei is multifaceted and reflected in the word's multiple meanings, even in English. It can mean not doing anything. Oh, my mic went out. Okay. Zeron explains Zeron or harmony. The concept is used to explain Zeron. Closed concepts that value distinctions are ideological and seeing ambition of all sorts as originated from the same source. Um,
I mean, let me ask you a question. What do you think the purpose of meditation is?
just remove distractions. Focus on whatever you need to be focusing on.
Mhm.
Whatever your focus is, that's what it is.
It's
Focus
it's a
truly on that,
concentration.
and remove all the distractions. Yeah.
It's a concentration, and one way to meditate is by reading a book because it takes focused concentration to read a book. And if you read it slowly and chant it, it can induce a Gnostic state. You have to,
It's not the case with every book, dude.
not every
It's
book,
not with.
but a lot of books, a lot of good
I
spiritual
I
sacred texts.
I I mean, there are books that do have like a balance or a rhythmic balance or a harmonic balance or a harmonic pattern. Absolutely, say the Vedas, the Quran definitely has this.
Yeah, look at
There
how they
are.
recite the Quran, the way they do it, because that induces
If
hypnosis.
you look
And
at the Hebrew Bible, some of the segments, which I've been kind of mapping out, it has that balance, has that what you would describe like a stanza balance. I don't want to call it poetry, but you'd say poetry, but the stanza balance, that stuff in the Hebrew Bible, it's present. Not everywhere, but there are segments in it that do. I'm mapping that out. Now, that would be closer to what the original Hebrew Bible, or whatever was revealed to Moses. Obviously, this is not the version that was revealed to Moses. This is the post Babylonian format, the five books.
okay, let me
This is
ask you
not what
another
was.
question. What is the difference between hypnosis and gnosis?
Gnosis is the pursuit of knowledge, obviously, but hypnosis, this is you under the influence of something you might not be even aware of, right?
Well, all communication is considered hypnosis, and gnosis is like knowing. Uh, no, it is a merging of the superconsciousness with your consciousness. It's just micro and macro, but it's
So
all
how
through
are
the
you going to
word.
align with this, with the ultimate mind? How are you going to align with that, or the ultimate cosmic order? How are you going to align with it?
You can do it through chanting, through music.
No, no, no. The chanting, that, that is to get you in this concentration kind of mode.
I know, but
This
when you're doing
isolation.
it, I don't know. All I can say to you is create audiobooks, and that's the fastest, quickest, and best way to induce gnosis.
That's fine. I already have the Quran.
Yeah, well then
That's
chant the
good.
Quran if that's your favorite
I do
thing to
chant,
chant.
but I don't. It's not about. It's recitation. That's what we call it. We don't necessarily say chant. We
Got
say
it.
recitation, and the Quran is meant to be recited. And so recitation, repetition, and so the repetition. What are you reading? What are you repeating over and over again? You're repeating this harmonic pattern, this balance, and
Hmm.
subconsciously you are kind of setting the grounds to recognize patterns. That's what the human brain does, extremely efficiently, in the most excellent kind of way. Is that we look at reality and we see patterns. Now, this has been stifled in a lot of people. Why? Because the knowledge, it's either they're not receiving it properly, like the K to 12 or whatever the education system is, and they're not receiving it properly, or they're not receiving it at all. So those are the problems. So the only way for you to get gnosis, the gnosis is to be triggered by the recitation. The recitation is to layer up your subconscious to the point where your consciousness can now float and see the light. So it can see it. So the reason these scriptures have that recitation mode is to rebuild that in you subconsciously. So over time, as you're repeating,
Hmm.
you will now start seeing the pattern, which is the numbers, the geometry. Then you're going to sit there and ask questions. Oh, but I see this, I see some sort of algorithm. You start rebuilding the knowledge. All of a sudden, the knowledge is floating back. So that's what this is. So that's what it is. And the gnosis is to see it. And then you start pursuing that. That would be you being like a mystic in a way. You
Yeah. Well,
just
what do you know? What the point?
science
Do you know what
plus
the
religion.
point is? Do you know why people do all this? Weird behavior and activity.
Why they pursued knowledge?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to be enlightened. We
Right.
want
And why
enlightenment.
do people want enlightenment?
Because I don't want to be a puppet.
It's more than that. it's actually it's part of game theory, and part of game theory is having fun. If you're not having fun doing what you're doing, well, what's the point? That's called
Oh, I agree.
misery.
It's fun. It's definitely fun because it's like Da Vinci Code stuff. But if you can't see it yet, and you're still thinking, I just need to like put my mind at ease or my heart at ease, and I need to like just drown the noise. That's not. That's not. You're not. Information. You're not gonna get an angel to bestow knowledge upon you. That's not what's gonna happen. So it's not
Yeah, but what
enough.
if you're the angel bestowing the knowledge on yourself?
Well, until you could show me someone who sat in a room and then like developed like calculus from the ground up, then we'll talk.
Well, you keep going back to mathematics, and you know,
Because it's all math, bro. You're talking about Kabbalah. You're like you've been like showing indication that you're obsessed with this stuff,
I'm
and
not
this is
obsessed with Kabbalah, man. I go from that to this to this to that. I'm not obsessed with any one category of content.
well, I think Kabbalah would be your most extracted. All that knowledge would have been extracted, and that's the whole point of Kabbalah is to like kind of give you a version of this knowledge, this extraction in a way, in a terminology that is, associated with Judaism. That's
Well,
all this is. Where did they get this from? They got this from Andalusia. They got this because there was a lot of Jews in Andalusia, and they were engaging in Kalam, and during the period of Kalam and Islamic philosophy.
got it.
So this is all Islamic philosophy gone into Europe. Maimonides, because the way he described things, it was very
Wait, why do you
abstract,
say
very
that
conceptual.
Kabbalah is Islamic philosophy? I don't understand that.
I'm explaining it to you. So
Aren't you
what happened?
explaining it though from your perspective as a Muslim?
No, no, you could look this up. Um, what happened is that you had Maimonides. Maimonides, where was he? He was in the Muslim world during what? The Kalam period. You would say the Islamic philosophy, the science, the golden age, whatever you want to call it. During that period, he adopted a lot of the Aristotelian Platonic fusion that the Muslims created. And this fusion, he took it, translated it in terms that would align with the Jewish belief, or Jewish terminology, or Hebrew terminology, whatever. This crawled its way to Europe, Andalusia, and southern France. The reaction was hostile. They didn't like it. They burned his text. Why did they do this? Because it was dry. It did not have spiritualism in it. So they didn't like it. They felt like this was pretty much making God like the world or a system or like a computer or something. It was just more science than it was any spiritualist. So if they didn't like that, there was a hostile rejection. Out of this, to reconcile Maimonides with mainly European Jewish thought, they spiritualized it. That's your Kabbalah. The spiritualization of Maimonides and Islamic, Platonic, or Aristotelian Platonic thought. That's what it
Well,
is. That's Kabbalah.
what if I told you I no longer want to communicate by having a conversational hypnosis as opposed to just reading books to people, meaning that I eventually am getting to the point where I will never have conversations like this because I would rather just have people read books to me, and I would rather just read books to people.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there are books that are like volumes. I don't think people are gonna have the patience to sit. If people are gonna have the patience to listen, or for you to even listen to them, it needs to give you value. You're gonna have to be pitched on a reason on why to sit there to listen to this guy for hours reading to you a book. I need a pitch. So you're gonna have to tell me why the reason I go to college or whatever, and I sit and I listen to a lecture for an hour or two, is because I need this, and he's already convinced me why I need this. I need to learn this specific thing. Okay, so that's why I'm sitting here. I'm not sitting here so I could learn, so I could be given a reason to sit here. I'm not gonna do that. No one's gonna do that.
I don't know, dude. I'm in a book club.
Well, book clubs, but you see, book clubs. The reason you're in a book club is because people like to read books. They got together and they just, for the sake of reading books, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but in my book club we have one rule, and that rule is all we do is read books to each other for 3 minutes to 10 minute intervals, and but we don't really have conversations anymore.
Yeah, I mean, book clubs usually, whether you want to have a conversation or not, I guess depends on them. I mean, I don't think they want to hear about religion, not especially in America. They don't want to hear about religion and all that. It's kind of like taboo. So it's like, everybody will just read and keep it neutral, and everybody go on home. That's how I see it.
Well, what do you know about Zen?
Where? Like,
The philosophy of Zen.
I don't know much.
You don't know anything about it?
I mean, Zen, I understand, like balance, peace, like kind of Zen, balance.
I would say it's
China,
more
Buddhism.
about mindfulness or your state of mind, meaning that if you're a compulsive thinker, you're very far away from Zen. So Zen is a state of no thought, no sound, no words. It's like going clear, you might say, like the cliche term from Scientology, going
A
clear.
state of calm, serene, peacefulness. Zen, yeah, Buddhism. Okay, yeah.
But
Practice
what I think
seated
the
meditation.
what I think
Focused
the
awareness on the present moment.
what I think the Kabbalists are doing when they banish the Qliphoth from the shells, or they working with the Sephiroth, what they're really trying to do is get into a Zen state, which is like the 10th Sephiroth, the hidden garden valley of delight. Meaning that they go clear. They're no longer engaged in this endless debate and endless conversations. And
They're trying to revive Merkaba mysticism. They actually, again, not everybody who calls themselves a Sufi or a Kabbalist or whatever, or a Gnostic is actually what they're claiming, because they're like kind of, hippies. They're just in it for the hipster thing. But this can't be understood unless you have the proper knowledge. Like that's what it is. You need to build that up. You need to be able to recognize the divine geometry. You need to be able to recognize the numbers, the very specific sequences that are repeating, and why they're repeating, and why are they what are they describing. You need to be able to see it in all the different stories. That's what it is. And then from there, you're kind of like cornering whatever, if there is like this hidden knowledge that you can like unveil. Like that's kind of what I want. That's what I want. I want that theory of everything, or at least an explanation of everything. That's what it is. That's what I want. But
well, a theory of everything is a theory of nothing, then. That's why you got to read Tao Te
I'm not
Ching.
talking like physics. I'm not talking like an equation. I'm talking about an explanation. Like, that's what I want. I want an explanation.
It's not an explanation. It's a state of gnosis, which is a state of nothingness. That's why I asked you about Zen.
Gnosis is not nothingness, man. That's not what it is. Dude.
Not nothingness in the way that we think of nothingness. Nothingness in the way that we think of space.
Here, read it. Read what it's saying here. Zen. China, Tang Dynasty, blended Buddhism, yoga, Madhyamaka, I don't know, philosophies, Chinese Taoism thought, especially Neo-Taoism. Zen originated in the Chan school, Buddhist, or the Buddha mind school, and later developed into various sub-schools and branches. So that's probably their version of Sufism. Chan is traditionally believed to have been brought into China, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, meditation practice, direct insight into one's own Buddha nature, and personal expression of this insight in daily life for the benefits of others. Okay, self-reflection, rehabilitation, balance. Okay, but this is what religions tell you They
Mm-hmm.
tell you to, focus different periods throughout the day. Well, especially like Islam, for example, it syncs you with like the day and night cycle. It syncs you with the seasons. It syncs you with the years. So that's what it is. It puts you in orbit. It tells you what your place, how to order yourself. So not just as an individual, but also as a collective. So that's what it is. That's why you see the five daily prayers. That's why you see the pilgrimage. That's why you see the rotating around the Kaaba. This is to symbolize the rotation around the throne. In that sense, this is to be symbolic for the throne of God. That's what it is.
And where's the throne of God?
Just depends on how much you understand, but the answer that we want people to understand is that God is above all things. So in that sense, so He's above. And so the notion is that the throne of God is directly linked with the position of Mecca, Jerusalem, stuff like that. So this is a gateway. If these are like in a way directions that indicate God, or are supposed to be like places of worship, temples. In that sense,
Here,
I
you
think they
gotta.
have to do with golden ratios, like on the face of the
You're
planet
gonna
or
really
something.
like this guy named what's his name? William Donahue. I got the link for you here. Watch this guy's YouTube channel. He's this was all filmed in like the '80s and '90s on a tape recorder. But this guy gives them some really good lectures. This one on Kabbalah magic is really good.
Here, John, do you think that we don't have a relationship with the Hindu and Buddhist world as Muslims? We've had a before the West. Their lands today are mainly Islamic. The Buddhist lands are, for the most part, Muslim
Great,
today.
but how? I don't know what to tell you,
We've
dude.
taken their
You
knowledge,
do realize
Sufism.
you do realize that there's no difference between an indigenous Muslim living in the desert as a Bedouin practicing, their magic versus a Native American living in the Midwest or South, like in the year
That's
fourteen
confusing
hundred.
because the Native American in the in the Americas or the New Worlds didn't develop the fundamentals of science, the fields of science that really propagated the Enlightenment and the Industrial Age and the modern age. Like it's not them. The only ones who did this were the Muslims. They did
Yeah,
this
well, now
because
now I know you're full of shit because you're making all or nothing statements, and the truth is
I'm
not all
sorry,
or
who
nothing.
developed algebra? Last time I checked,
Who
was
developed the
algebra
Who developed the Earth? You
algorithms.
schmuck. Who cares about who developed
God,
algebra?
God, God.
Who developed the universe?
You're talking about gnosis. If you're talking about gnosis and knowledge, then yes, knowledge. Your whole pursuit of this spiritual like alignment and all that is so you could pursue knowledge. That's the goal. Well, that's already happened. If you want to look at all the traditions, you would look at the one tradition that contributed the most towards knowledge. Which one is that?
It's China.
Islam. No, hands
It's
down, not
China,
even
my
a
friend.
matter of debate.
It's
It's
China.
Islam.
All right, well, great. Then you love. That's why I say you love burritos, but you don't like tacos or pizza or filet mignon. You just love
I like it
burritos.
all.
You,
I like it all.
but you're claiming the burrito is the best.
No, I'm not. I'm saying there's a way to cook food. There's a reason why burritos make sense, why pizzas make sense. There's a protein, veggie, bread kind of combo, and this combo in different like ratios and makes different things. So you want to understand why pizza, burritos, and all that are actually popular foods, not I subjectively like burritos over pizza. No, that's not how you want to think about it. When I'm thinking about Islam, what I want is I have a finite amount of time on Earth. That's one. I don't have an infinity, so I can spend there reading everything. Can't do
Are
that.
you sure?
What I need to do, because I don't, just facts. We're all gonna die. So
I know, but how do you know that you're not going to have?
process of elimination.
How do you know that you haven't always existed? I mean, if you're alive now, that means you were dead before, and so that probably means you were alive before that. Like, I'm not saying reincarnation is the way, it's maybe presented. I'm just saying that there's a chance that you are an infinite consciousness.
I don't believe I was or am an infinite consciousness. I don't believe in infinities, period. I believe in potential infinities that continue, just like our universe. Our universe isn't an actual infinity as much as it's a potential infinity expanding and where we can never reach the horizon. So at this point, it is by all means an actual infinity in the sense because we will never reach the horizon. But we know there's a horizon and we know there's an expansion. It's a potential infinity in that sense. I believe in potential infinities. I don't believe in actual infinities. I'm not an actual. I don't even believe God is an infinity, like an actual infinity, in that sense.
You don't think God is infinite?
Infinite in one way. In wisdom, sure.
In the word
In
infinite,
knowledge,
I don't know how to describe it. It's infinite.
Now I know you're full of shit.
there's a difference between actual infinities and potential infinities, depending on what position you hold on this. Which again, you don't want to hold to actual infinities. I mean, the physics, we don't like actual infinities. Math, no one likes actual infinities. We want potential infinities. It makes everything make sense. If God was actually an infinity in every means, then what you're saying is that we're God. Or what you're saying is we're inside of God, which is what the Kabbalists say.
Yeah.
Pantheism or pantheism. It's not something acceptable. We don't accept that. We say God is as he doesn't give birth and he isn't born. And so he's not he's we're not some ontological descendant, as in we're not sharing the same ontology, and we're just receiving this, or we're part of this. We're not that. Nor are we born. Nor are we some sort of product or some sort of like overflowing of this. No, we are a distinct creation. We're distinct. There's a real distinction between us and God.
Well, the Chinese version of creation is that the earth created us in the same way that an apple tree apples the earth peoples, and so it's basically a way of saying the same thing but using a different perspective or relativity, and this is why the Chinese have a superior philosophical and psychological modality for treatment and for living one's life in peace, unlike a lot of Abrahamic faiths, which are constantly engaged in conflict with each other because their perspective and their relative position is so tentative that there's this inferiority complex or self-esteem issue within the faith itself because it's so fantastical and mythological as opposed to being natural.
Understand what you're saying, but let's just look at Judaism, for example. You think Judaism, if you look at a lot of the cruxes of the struggles that have been happening, it's been happening with one mutual party with the others, which is the Roman Empire, or you would say Christendom, at least based on Constantine's version of it. That's what we've been in conflict with, whether Jew or Muslim. Most of our conflicts have literally been with Rome or the legacy of Rome. That's what we've been fighting. Other than that, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I would say, like with Jews or the Israelites, I mean, it depends on which time period, but it's assumed, like it's not something, like when I hear about Assyria or Babylon or all that, like that makes sense to me. Why you're at empires, you have them expanding, and if you're either a vassal or you're gonna be a slave, there's one of the two, or you fight back. It's just that's how it is.
Have you read?
I don't say the source of this is religion.
See, wait, you don't like the Romans, right? You think they're a bunch of evil cocksuckers.
No, I don't think they're a bunch of evil cucks either. I just think they saw things a specific way, and like Constantine valued the empire, the unity of the empire, whether geography or whether philosophy, ideology. He wanted to unite the empire, and unfortunately, that came at the cost of pursuing knowledge and truth because he made something a dogma and he threatened to use the authority of the empire against anybody who challenges this dogma, which is Nicaea. So that's
Well,
where a
have
lot
you
of the
read
problems started to begin.
Marcus Aurelius or Seneca? I mean, Stoic philosophy is extremely intelligent, and
Well,
you
they
should
use Stoic, it's
read it
integrated in
because
Christianity.
it even has metaphysics in there. It has science. It has everything
I
that we're
like the
talking
Stoic
about.
tradition. I like the Stoic tradition. I have nothing against, you know, what you say idealism. It's nothing. I'm an idealist myself. I believe in virtues and ethics. I hold to
It's more
virtue
than that.
ethics as well.
Have you read Marcus Aurelius's Meditations?
No.
You should because it is a soliloquy to God. I mean, but it also even debates whether gods or God exists, and it. But again, it's about intelligence, and I don't. You really have to read Marcus Aurelius because he was.
Bro, I'm down to read anything but someone needs to give me a reason. What did they extract from this that they believe this is worthy of reading in a way that isn't just informative, that thing that can actually give you a new insight, but if
Yeah.
this model's already available, if it's already been integrated into Christianity, and I can tell in Christianity, oh, this is probably from the Stoics, you know, then that's fine. I don't need to go read a specific book. Well, what did the Stoics have to offer that isn't offered by the Christians or the Platonists or the Jews or what is it?
You have to. Marcus Aurelius's meditations can induce a state of gnosis, and there are
Ah,
some passages in there that are so profound and so unique and
name
so
one. Give me one.
transformative.
The top one. The
Just
most profound one.
just
You sound
Google
like
just
off the
Google
memory.
Marcus Aurelius quotes.
You. I just want
It says
one. The top one.
life is like a river, a violent river. Images, characters appear, and then those are taken away. Then something new appears, and that is taken away. Again, I can't quote it, but I have read it many times, and I've recorded it, and it definitely has Gnostic passages of supreme divine wisdom, and Marcus was very close to the deity.
Well, to tell me that the world is like the river and the flow and the ripples in the river and how you see the timeless river continue to flow, but yet within it the waves and are oscillating. Or that's fine. We already believe that, bro. We already accept stuff like that. Like,
Well,
there's no
don't take my
problem.
word for it. Read the Master Marcus, and then you may come to know the divine wisdom too. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can tell you to
I'll tell
read a
you, the
book.
divine wisdom is already the wise man, the sage of the world has already shown up. His name is Muhammad, man. That's it. And through his book, he literally in this book it contains everything, everything that you. There was no Kabbalah before Islam. There is
What does the
no
name Muhammad mean?
Sufism,
What does the name Muhammad mean?
the blessed one.
How do you break it down? Mo, Ham, and then add Moham.
Hamd. So Hamd, you know.
Mohammed. So
So
how did
he's
people
the
address
one
him?
that is blessed. So
How did
the Mo is the one that is
did his
blessed.
mother give him that name? Did his father give him that name?
No, I think they were. He was an orphan. It was his grandfather, I believe, or I believe.
Did he
No,
go to a cave? Did he
actually, I do
disappear?
think his father, or wait a second, his mother. Yes, and then his mother died young, and then his grandfather took care of him. Then his uncle took care of him. Yeah, there you go. Was he in? Did he go and meditate? Yes, he did. Did he practice monotheism? Yes, he did. He didn't worship idols. Yes, and he engaged in meditation and absolution and cleanliness and all of that, which is a lot of these things can be found among the Essenes. So you can see all of these, what you would call Mekava mysticism or chariot mysticism.
Hmm.
So this is literally the mysticism, or you would say the gnosis tradition, like at least during the time of Jesus or before Jesus. So this is what it is, and you would see it very much. What you're describing is literally in alignment with chariot mysticism
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
finding a way, a practice to reach, to obtain either divine revelation or divine communication, or even ascension. So that's all this is. Enoch. Um, One could even say Jesus.
But when you say ascension, that is a higher state of consciousness which deals with intelligence.
Well, just again, some people took this literally, as in they think that they can ascend through the heavens, and then there are people who saw this as knowledge-wise, gnosis, and it just depends on how you're viewing it. I think some people took this overly literally. I think people till this day, Kabbalists take this overly literally. I think so. That's not it. That's what I believe. Like, there's like the Kabbalist kind of tradition led to something, and then there was like a split. Those guys ended up going into like science, and these guys kind of stuck in their own. That's it, bro. Like you can only
Well,
get so much by understanding the world or trying to break down this sequence, this numerology. You can only understand so much. You need to continue, and they just stopped.
they didn't stop. What are you talking about? People are obsessed and all. They spend their whole lives dealing with all this stuff.
The real ones are literally working on string theory. Go look at string theory; it's full of Jews and Kabbalists and all that. Like
Yeah.
they got look up Aleph theory. They're literally making up they now string theory isn't really working. There's like a whole new reframing. Like we need to like reframe everything in physics. I forgot what Aleph theory or Aleph. Look up Aleph physics. You're gonna get this. There's a whole. They're working on this, bro.
It's
Like I'm
not. There's
serious.
nothing new under the sun, and everything that is has already been. Have you ever heard of Dr. Paul Foster Case?
No.
Well, you should really read him, and you should read Israel Regardie, Aleister Crowley. You should read Marcus. I mean, there's a lot of books, man. I mean, I've got a lot of books in my house, and they're the best investment.
All you keep telling me, John, is that I'm gonna spiritual state, spiritual peace, like chance or what do you call it, chantra or whatever, and this is gonna induce this hypnotized state. That's all. You're just telling me you're.
It's not a stupid hypnosis.
Junkie.
It's not a stupid hypnosis. It's a super intelligent hypnosis because it's not. You could say Om, which is the sound of all sounds, the sound of creation, the sound of the universe. It's not stupid, but you're also not. It's like going to a water park and never riding any of the rides. It's just like sitting there at the at the cafe and just having a piece of pizza when you want to go out and have fun and ride all the different tubes. It's like it's not time traveling, but it's like tube traveling or Gnostic traveling. I mean,
No, you don't want to just go to the gym and do biceps. You want to do back, and you want to do legs.
Yeah, and you got to
chest.
rotate. Exactly. You don't do the same muscle group every day. You rotate.
I understand. I'm not isolating all the other things. I'm looking into other things as well. But my main path is Islam. Why? Because it has contributed the most and has contributed to all these things. And so,
But that's
to me,
your
that was the
opinion.
source.
That's your
It is
opinion. It's
compatibilities.
contributed
That's
the most.
not my opinion.
It's a fact. Okay, we're playing the opinion fact game now. Okay.
The numbers, the very algebra, the algorithms, all of that came from Islam, the Quran. All of that. That's what triggered into these people's minds. They saw this, and their analysis of this is what gave us all these things. And if it wasn't for these things, it gave us all the basics of sciences, it gave us surgery, it gave us even the evolution theory and natural selection. This has all been present. You can find all of this if you just look into the Muslim history, if you look into that golden age specifically. So you'll see that all of this has been named half of the stars for God's sakes, man. This is not they came up with the what is it called? The Aristlab or whatever that thing is, that mechanized compass. Literally fucking fully mechanical, and the thing works like a computer. We can't replicate this till today. We can't make one.
Yeah, I know their mathematical and engineering capabilities were impressive, but guess what year it is? It's 2025. And I know there's a historical legacy and a continuity of information and intelligence, but the problem is, you think that something in the medieval ages is,
You call them medieval ages. The West calls it the medieval age. We don't call it. It's just the Middle Ages for us. That's it. It was the Dark Age was mainly
I
because
get it. I know.
the Catholic Church, the Western Church, pretty
I
much
get it.
brought everybody into the
I
Dark
get it,
Age.
but you could say that the Dark Ages were actually the best time because it wasn't littered with all this spam. People were living naturally without all this
Depends on where
spam.
you were. If you were in the West, they were the Dark Ages. If you were in the Middle East or the Muslim world, you were living what you would call the Golden Age up
I
until
get it, but
Muhammad showed up.
that is still relative and opinion based.
It's not relative and opinion based. It's literally by the West. The West, we don't even call it the Golden Age. Actually, it's the West that does call it the Golden Age.
Arbon, do you want to say something? I've talked to Cynic for quite a while now. What do you want to say, Arbon?
I'm just gonna throw a question on the floor. I mean, would you be where you are right now without Islamic civilization?
Would I be here right now without fucking Socrates, schmuck? The whole world is based off of Socrates. What about that? That predates your fucking prophet Mo.
So what, Socrates? What did he? The only reason you
Focus
know
on the
of the
question.
Greeks,
Focus on the
we
question, man.
translated the works of the Greeks by
You don't have
order
the
of the
Greeks.
It's the
Caliphs.
same answer whether I say Socrates or Muhammad. It's the same fucking answer. It's a one system. There's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole
No, no,
universe.
no, it's not. One builds on the shoulders of another. Now you could say Plato.
What are you getting so bent out of shape for, Arbon? What are you sighing for over here? This isn't a sighing
Spent
room.
1,000 years contemplating this stuff before you guys came out down from the tree and start stealing shit.
Seriously.
Do you understand what's happening?
Your Kabbalists just stole a different tradition. I wouldn't say stole, like it's not a good. I'm not, but since you're just kind of like taking it this turn, but they simply incorporated all the Muslim philosophy or the Muslim knowledge, and they translated it in Hebrew terms. That's it. That's all it is. It's nothing the Kabbalists have that you would consider, whoa, profound, that you won't find in our text. You'll find previously. Absolutely, you'll find it. You'll find calculus, dude. We were doing calculus. We were doing all of this. We just didn't.
Well, did you ever come up with Playboy or HBO, or Paramount or Amazon or Google or Tesla or Microsoft? I mean, what is your point?
You're criticizing the very thing. You literally are saying, oh, people don't read. They're just watching all this stuff. They're watching HBO now. They're not actually learning. This is your criticism. And now you're saying, oh, this is look at the contribution of the West. They brought in all these distractions. All right, they made.
These are your arguments, Mikhail, and you're putting all these words in my mouth. These aren't my arguments.
Actual knowledge. They didn't bring distractions or weapons of mass destruction into reality. It was the West that did this. We did not use. If it wasn't for the Mongols, we would probably be already on Mars if it wasn't for the Mongols. And this would have been just propped up by the Muslim world. Unfortunately, destiny and fate has something else in store for us. So that's what it is. It's it shows that reality or God does not intend us to go to Mars. He intends for the truth, the falsehood and truth to struggle until the day he inherits the earth. That's what's going to happen.
You think Muhammad is going to become the king of the earth?
Islam liberated the human mind, man. If you have an enslaved mind,
They were the first to achieve that, huh? And the only to achieve
Muhammad is
that?
already the king of the
you
world.
were lost, man, in the jungle. You were lost for centuries.
This is 2025, schmuck. I was born in 1982. You're fucking delusional.
My God.
Just don't. If it's come down to knowledge and the contributions that actually are beneficial, you'll find that is Islam.
I hate to tell you this, but Muhammad is an inferior prophet. He's not the greatest. He's not the greatest thing since the Subway sandwich.
No, but just to whom? To whom?
To the master.
Who comes even close?
To the master.
Who Who's the master? Who's the master?
I can't tell you because you're not in the club.
Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
Why would I tell you who the master is?
You keep telling me I read.
I spent my whole life searching for the master. I finally found the master. You think I'm gonna give it up? You think I'm gonna give you my gold, my treasure?
You don't have a master, bro. You literally don't have one. If you had one, you wouldn't. There is no reason not to bring up his name. So, because if he is someone of importance, we would already know him.
Well, a demonic entity, I think that's all it is, man.
A demonic entity?
Yeah.
A demon? A demon?
Yeah, of course.
Well, you guys don't read books, so there's no point in even telling you who the master
Just
is.
tell us the name.
Tell us Jesus again, for Pete's sake. You know?
No. I'll give you. All right, I'll give you his secret name. I'll give you his magic. I'll give you his magic name.
Just tell us the name. Tell us the name.
Okay, can you listen? As opposed to talking, I know what you've asked. I'll tell you the name of the secret master. It's Frater Perturabo.
Who?
Frater Perturabo. It's his magic name. It stands for to endure until the end, aka Aleister Crowley.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You can't take it. He's the secret master. He's the secret master.
Just drop this Crawley.
There we go. Hey, Aurora.
Wait a second. Are you a Sentienist?
A sentientist? What's a sentientist?
Sentienist.
What's that?
Follow the left-hand path.
No,
Yes,
no,
he
no.
is.
Oh, okay.
The right and the left
You say
is
so.
balance.
No, there's no left. There's no balance. If you follow the
Sexual
left path,
perversion. He reached the enlightenment through sexual perversion. He tried everything. He
it's
fucking
people.
coke maybe even too. I don't know. Fuck it, you know.
No. I mean, it's not that
Could be sexual
crazy.
perversion if you
You
did
gotta
it with
look up
your
Sentianism.
My
husband.
gosh.
A husband and a wife.
If I was an A, I mean,
He had orgies with God knows who. He was the most despicable. My God, he's just.
no, he was a man. He definitely knew stuff. He was definitely
He
chasing.
tried everything. He tried everything you can think of.
I don't know. I don't know. I know he tried rituals or stuff like that. I don't know how accurate that stuff is, but I know he is practically the spiritual founder of Setianism, at least as it's known in the West, the left-hand path. I mean, people are. He is. I respect Setianism as like the opposite belief of the right-hand path, which is Islam, or submission. But I don't think you actually know Setianism, so I'm not going to go into that.
Okay, great. Well, welcome back to the book club, everybody, where we're talking about things we learned from books. We read a bunch of books, and now we're talking about it because there's no other way to do this information transfer. So, welcome to the book club, everybody. Some people like this book, some people like that book. But in my opinion, the fact that you like this book more than these books doesn't make your book any better than all these other books. It's just my opinion.
That's true. That is just an opinion. But how do we actually compare texts? And how do we, well, you're going to have to tell me, well, what did you learn from this guy? What did you learn from this text? And then I'll see whether this is something that is taught in our text or whether it's something our text opposes or where's our position? Or is this like new information, enlightenment or like, so that's what we want to see. You're right. It's just an opinion at this point.
It's an opinion. Oh my God.
But that's why I keep asking you. Are you saying Taoism? Are you saying Zen? Are you saying this guy's name? I'm asking you, what did you find profound in reading this text? If I told you to provide me a summary of this text, of the information you found profound, you can't just tell me, well, this induces me into a spiritual state. You can't just keep saying that. That's
what I have discovered. When I let's say I have 100 different books and I chant them all, the effect is the same, but the information is obviously different, but the effect is always still a brainwave state. It's the same thing as a movie theater brainwave state. When you sit down at a theater, or even when you open up your Gmail, people's brains go into a neural pattern of sorts. And so what I'm saying is, when you read any sacred text that deals with God, it always creates the same effect, a Gnostic effect. And reading it silently,
How do you know what is from God and what is
experimentation.
not?
I've experimented. I've done a lot of experimentation, and it's
Hey,
you
that's
can't do it.
subjective.
You cannot. It's subjective. I'm giving you my opinion, obviously, because life is opinion. It's not life isn't facts. Life is opinion, and the universe is the transformation, which you could call an actual fact, because we all know we're gonna die. We all know that everything is going to disappear and change. Eventually, the fucking star is going to explode, and Earth will just be a nothingness. So, it's all relative, cynic. And part of this whole
Wait,
journey.
I thought you were implying some sort of infinity and that we were infinite or stuff like that.
Yeah,
What
well,
happened to that? Now it's all darkness.
It's hypothesized that Earth is going to essentially detonate itself with nuclear weapons and turn into its own star, and then your consciousness might get transmitted through the ether through some black hole. You'll come out of your butthole, and your mom will give birth to you again, and she'll say, cynic, he can't even repair a laptop. All he does is go on this social audio chat app and fucking use his wrist and waste his time and sit there and fucking shill for Palestine all day long. Shill, never stop. I gotta get back to fixing laptops. Don't talk about my mom, and don't talk about my booty hole coming out of a black hole, because I'm a part of a book club.
It's cool, man. If that's your understanding, if we're stuck in some repetitive cycle, and that's what it is, and we have to wait millions or billions of years before we get pooped out of a black hole again or whatever, that's your prerogative. You can believe in whatever you will be. But
my point is,
you need the Quran. This is why you need a revelation from
yeah, I need
God.
the book club, dude. I got to give you that good news again. It's called the book club, and I read books, so I don't know what to tell you, man. It doesn't sound to me like you reading books. It sounds like he's just talking all the time. That's it. Let's read a book together. That's the whole show. Thanks for coming, everybody. I called this the Mikhail the Muslim Kabbalist show. That's the name of my show. It's called Mikhail the Muslim Kabbalist. That's the whole show. The show's over, ladies and gentlemen.
The show's over. No hypnosis.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm not going to do any Gnosticism today. See, this is the thing. I've been reading all these Gnostic texts on here for quite a long time, but now Mikhail is interested in it, and he thinks I'm copying him.
Mikhail? What is Mikhail?
I mean, I promote God, and so I'm happy he's reading. But if he thinks that his Muslim tradition is the source of everything, well, that's just vanity. And it's, there's just too many sources out there to just refute your opinion. And it's not like I'm refuting it. I'm just saying that, you may prefer tacos. You may prefer burritos. You may prefer pizza. But if you only eat burritos, ugh, what a horrible diet. That's so boring. Even though I like burritos.
Variety is spice of life. Yeah.
But Arban here, he is a devout Muslim, and he thinks that Islam is the source of everything.
Yeah, I encountered him yesterday.
I mean, do you even know what the word Islam means, Arban?
Yeah, submission to Allah.
So I slam you against the floor. I slam. Or I slam you against something, It's a sound.
Oh, well.
It's a sound. Islam. I slam. I slam.
You make it fun.
No, every word is a sound. And so what I'm saying is when people first started using the sound, people had to get used to it and say, what does that mean? I slam. Islam. Like, what does that mean? Islam. Oh, it's a new word. We just created it. See what I'm saying? That's how the source of all words are just, we're making up sounds.
Well, I just believe we needed a pushed religiously and metaphysically and scientifically, and Islam was there at the right time.
Dude, it was political, man. They were responding to the Christians. It was a war.
What?
It was a war for supremacy. The Jews loved it because finally somebody was like, we're going to fight the Christians. And the Jews are sitting back, they're like, we don't even have to do anything now. These dumb fucks are going to kill each other and leave us alone.
Listen. That area was always split up in tribes. There was no reason for them to unite. That had never happened before. You don't understand. The first battle, there was uncle fighting against nephews, son against father. It's like a nuclear reaction, which means it takes a lot to break those bones of tribal and families. That's what Islam did. In order to get...
They're still doing it! Are you shitting me? The whole fucking area is nothing but tribalism.
History, there's no more tribal... Okay, so if an Arab feels a bit more superior because of whatever, that's on him, but he's not supposed to.
Yeah, well, go ahead and explain that to the Fakhuri family. Go explain that to the fucking Bin Laden family. And all these tribes that are constantly, fighting each other for supremacy.
Yes, okay. What I'm trying to say is there's nothing natural about what happened to the Arabs during this early Islamic time. There's nothing natural about that one. Everything is... It required a supernatural intervention. Only God could have brought them together and achieved what they achieved afterwards and left this impact now, which is Islam, in your face to the day of judgment. There's nothing you can do now.
So now I gotta get slammed every day by people who claim that their opinions are facts. I slam you with my opinion! It's a fact! I just slammed you with it! That's what's happening here. You're brainwashed.
I like you. I give you that. You make me laugh. I'd listen to you.
Yeah, you're brainwashed. I mean, you're hypnotized with your own shtick.
I just complimented you. You returned a compliment with an insult. Oh my God.
Well, I'm trying to wake you up, so because if I can make you laugh, I can increase your conscious awareness of your conditioning, and you're resuggesting the suggestions you've absorbed onto me and projecting them to me, and I'm just a snake.
So you think Islam enslaves your mind? It limits you, so to speak.
Rumi is the real prophet. Muhammad is just a terrorist.
Rumi, oh my God! You guys are obsessed with our Sufi garbage, man.
Sufi garbage. Without Rumi, there would be no Islam. It would have disappeared already.
No, you only recognize these guys because of their metaphysical made-up garbage. They self-infused trauma from over-worshipping. Oh, I saw things. How come only the Sufis saw things? No Sunni Muslim ever saw things. These guys are all seeing things. I'm telling you, man, they're completely off rocket.
No, dude, you're just not reading a good book.
I'm just reading, man. I did some research.
But cashless bail allows...
I don't understand what they're talking about, man. It's like they're hiding something. They're just spitting out verses
Well,
of the unknown.
you believe in God, right?
Yeah, believe me, no. The prophet came and left. That's it. No more prophets. No more hidden knowledge coming out of nowhere. Believe me.
Oh, you're a miserable bastard. When was the last time you even kissed a woman? You're miserable, I can tell.
These guys are the keys to the secrets of universe, these guys. These Sufis.
Yeah,
master
of the universe. It's magic.
I think it's demonic inspired garbage, man. Just
demonic? You think God is demonic?
Not God, no. What Sufis are experiencing, man. Oh, I heard this voice and this and that, coming with knowledge which completely contradicts the prophetic sunnah. Just this is unnecessary knowledge dwelling in these things, man.
This is an unnecessary conversation, my friend. You're lucky I'm even indulging you.
Islam is the middle way, man. You understand? Islam is the middle way. There's nothing extreme about Islam. It's right in the middle. Neither left nor right.
Okay, well, great.
It's called the middle way.
Yeah, I know. There's the Chinese call it the middle way, the Japanese call it the middle way, the Hindus call it the middle way, the Christians call it the middle way, the Jews call it the middle way.
We don't over-worship, like 10 hours, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. No. Dude, 5 minutes, be done. Go, collect your risk, your whatever God has allocated to you. Work hard. We don't worship 10 hours hours a day. Not even 1 hour altogether, man. Don't you understand? We keep it simple and straight. No need to overcomplicate things or fill your head with things that ain't gonna benefit you, you know?
Well, I don't know what to
What
tell
the
you.
Muslims did. They prayed 1 hour and did silence for the other whatever time was left. And they achieved so much. And these were the Sunni Muslims. I mean, of course, there were some Sufi also along the way, but it was quite an age of enlightenment and then curiosity and
What,
uncharted
there's
territories.
only. Do you think that there's such a thing as the past? Do you still believe in the past?
You can't take the credit. You have to understand, it was Islam that encouraged that. None of the other religions has ever done that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Done what?
Encourage people to achieve those levels of intellect and curiosity and well, harmoniously with your spiritual life as well. You see, the West has advanced so much, but more they're completely bankrupt, man. Spirituality is non-existent in the West.
That's not true at all. I mean, you don't know anything about the history of the West, then.
My God.
My God, listen to you. You sound miserable and pathetic.
These are secular societies, man. Things change from year to year. You look back, everything is completely different. Morally, you name it. Advancing technologically, you're just gonna end up going to the grave faster. You get these nuclear weapons and shit under Islam that will never be invented.
Listen,
No,
I don't know
no
who I'm talking to, but you don't happen to be related to the Unabomber. Do you live in a shack in the forest?
Dude, I'm a civil engineer. I mean, I have a full-time job, 60 hours a week designing bridges and roads. And dude, don't worry about me, man. I'm fine.
Well, here you are talking to some schmuck on the fucking internet like a high school girl, chit-chatting like some little girl, like you're wasting all your time, bro.
Wasting. I'm working.
Working what?
I'm designing this damn ditch here for a project on 95, but it's not working.
What are you using, AutoCAD?
Open roads.
Open roads.
It's a Bentley software. It's used for drainage simulations, you know, drainage design, modeling in 3D, all this stuff. But since COVID, you know, I ended up working from home and I haven't been at the office, I think like a freaking 8 months or so. Pretty much, I do my own hours. But this shit is due tomorrow and this ditch ain't working. I'm flooding the goddamn road.
Maybe you should pray to Allah for an answer.
No, I don't listen to music, so I like things in the background, something to incite my curiosity, engage, whatever, you know. I listen to documentaries and stuff.
Try reading a book.
I have quite a large selection. It's mostly a PDF. I got some hard copy books as well, mostly.
Yeah, well, when was the last time you read them?
I mean, from the computer the whole time. Every time I think of something, I just Google it quickly, go to Wikipedia, download something. You know, pretty much everything is at your fingertips now, man. You don't necessarily have to sit on your couch and read a book, you know.
Well, I chant books and I record them onto YouTube, so I can re-listen to what I'm chanting, and not necessarily have to reread the book again, because now I can just listen to myself read the book. But what I'm saying is, it's very pleasurable and it creates
Absolutely.
a deep relaxation.
No. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that because I think people need to be connected more to books. It definitely does something to you, your imagination, the way you think.
Yeah.
Isn't there such thing as dangerous books somehow?
The Bible is very dangerous, and so is the Quran, because people take it so literally as opposed to metaphorically, meta, that they literally will drive themselves crazy and other people crazy and possibly even murder people because they get so angry that their opinions aren't being accepted as facts.
I see.
Look at Mikhail.
Yeah.
Mikhail comes in here and says, "It's not a fucking opinion. It's a fucking fact. The N-word. You fucking N-word." It's like, Mikhail, relax. I guess you're not getting the message. Relax. If you have the truth, what do you have to worry about?
He's a bit passionate, you know. It doesn't take much to incite some, you know, anger out of him. But it still is quite a good interlock. I mean, sometimes you know, it does in the sense it doesn't let you speak, you know, goes on for forever. Still, it's he's definitely well read in a sense. I mean, well read. Now, reading is just no necessarily reading books. I'm thinking. I think he's using the AI so much too. You know, he's an AI pretty much all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is, God though is the super AI. So if you go to the sacred text, you're actually getting the same thing, because AI is just trying to essentially uh, redo what's already been done, and
How would you define AI? How would you define AI? I mean, besides having access to, let's just say, all the cumulative knowledge of humanity, what do you think he's doing in the background?
it's speeding everything up, and it is this the large language model. It's making a lot of spam, is really what it's doing. But when you concentrate the spam and focus it on the God, it becomes high value. But most of the stuff that's being created is just spam for impressions and clicks.
It goes through this data and just it would. I mean, I understand you ask him a question, so he analyzes it and spits out, I guess, the best case scenario of whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
What about self-learning? Whatever that means. Has that started yet in a sense of, I don't know, drawing conclusions in a sense, and then
You would think that they would be able to fully automate development, where you could let AI go wild and say, go ahead and create super intelligent network. Like, create some shit on your own, you know? But it's like AI is still relying on us to prompt it, and it's not conscious it to a high degree where it's creating anything useful for itself or for others. I mean, you know, if you watch Terminator, when Skynet becomes sentient and then determines to kill its controllers, people are worried about this doomsday scenario, but everybody's so stupid because they don't realize we've just created a complicated hypnosis device. It's all spam, and everybody on their phone all the time. It's just we're living in the age of mindless, stupid spam. People are spending a large percentage of people's lives are just looking at a screen for dopamine creation in their brain.
Yeah. When do you think we're gonna see some serious side effect of this experiment? You know, maybe in 50 years, 100. I don't know, because this is pretty detrimental to human mind. All this, we're getting the dopamine the wrong way. You know, God knows where it's gonna lead us to.
I mean, I don't have any kids. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have a daughter, which is I wish I had a son because daughters are more susceptible to God knows what.
It doesn't matter what the gender of your kid is. I mean, it's your kid. Who cares what the gender is?
It's just sons are stronger, you know. Less.
So raise your daughter to be strong and fearless. What the fuck is your problem? You're complaining all the time.
I don't know. Society has to be a bit, healthier for you to raise a healthy daughter. You know?
Well, how do you improve the world? How do you improve society?
It's too much going downhill. No one can stop this damn thing.
Dude, if you want to improve society, you have to improve yourself. And the thing is, if you want to update your software program, you have to start reading books. There's no other good way to improve your brain. Read books, go to the gym, and shut the F up. That's it. That's the secret.
I'm good with my hands, you know. My gym is going on top of the roof right now. I'm finishing my roof. I changed the whole goddamn thing. Put new shingles, new felt, new plywood.
But you're not going to the gym though.
That's the gym. I gotta go up there, up and down the goddamn stairs, lifting shingles.
Well, do you have access to a gym? Are you a man?
Yeah, of course, more
I'm saying is I get my workout working around this goddamn house, man. Always doing something. I'm exhausted most of the time.
Yeah, I know.
I work 10 hours a day.
Isn't it funny? Because your house is just your tomb. You're like an Egyptian pharaoh preparing you for your burial day.
True. By the time I'm done with this, it's time to go and hand it over to someone else. Isn't it funny though? It just we accumulate stuff, and it's just the grave is like what, I don't know, 2x6 or whatever the hell that is. You know, there's some small space.
Well, that can give, if you realize that you and everyone else is going to disappear, you can eliminate a lot of this unnecessary conversation. And this app is unnecessary conversation. And Mikhail is the perfect example of somebody who runs around this app having unnecessary conversations.
What about selling everything, convert it to gold, and take that gold in the grave with you? I think that would be cool. Leave nothing behind. Convert everything to some bars of gold.
You could
concentrate your wealth into manageable size, so you can take it with you. Just right next to you.
Well,
that'd be fun.
the pharaohs and the Egyptians, they left their treasures not, in their gold and their craftsmanship. It's in their philosophy. And if you study Egyptian mythology, the Book of the Dead, or you study, Thelema, which is Aleister Crowley's religion.
Is it real? Look, I'm just talking about just making up stuff. The question is, were the Egyptians up to something in the sense? Did they reach not just some, I don't know, some now? It's about the metaphysical in the sense of getting in touch with some entities, whatever those are, or something real, tangible. Not necessarily physical, it can also be spiritual, but real. Like, for example, demonic entities parading as whatever, some.
Well, these are all just metaphors, man. People take words so literally. We're on a social audio chat app. If I say the word water or wet, did you just get wet? No.
So when you say the Egyptians gave us so much, or that's their real treasure, what are you talking about then?
They're the most ancient. I mean, going back 12,000 years they were playing games at the River Nile, and those games, those mythologies are with us right now. Jesus Christ, even Muhammad, you could say all those things are the same stories and myths, just regurgitated, different place, different time, but it's the same pattern. So the Egyptians are most likely the most original pattern, and all of the world's religions, in the proximity, are just repeating that same pattern in a different narrative.
Are you saying Jesus was not real?
I'm saying that it's the same story told over and over again.
I understand that. Egyptian mythology, I understand that, but that's not real. It's just them making up stuff. Jesus walked the earth.
I don't know. You gotta understand, there's like a source book, and that source book has 5 different columns, and it's just they're different sounds, like Mercury and Apollo and Hermes,
I
or
understand
Thoth.
Christians being influenced by those stories. I understand that. I give you that one. I believe so. Christianity is completely backtracking Egyptian stuff, but the Prophet Muhammad, what do you think we go back to? I mean, did we copy someone's mythology or something? What do you think is now? I mean, it's just saying there's one God. What mythology speaks of one God, the creator of the universe outside time and space? I mean,
Well, Muhammad was a magician, and he pulled off a miraculous feat. He disappeared. He went into a cave, and he spoke to an angel. He meditated with his higher consciousness, and he came out, and he proclaimed that he was in converse with the source. So, but it's the same fucking scam. I mean, I'm not saying it's a scam. I'm just saying it's the same. It's the same pattern. It's the same game. It's the same video game, just with a different label on the outside.
Do you believe in God? So I don't know. So I'm a little lost a little bit here. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
As the concept, Abrahamic God. Really?
Yeah. But I believe in the book. I believe in the Word, and so I think God is floating around secretly in the Word. and it's up to us to do communication, to
True.
to
Is
play.
there such thing as a prophet of God? So that's the next question. Is there such thing as a prophet of God?
Yeah, look at the word prophet. It doesn't just mean like somebody with vision. It means literal prophet. You will
Okay.
profit from the wisdom.
Do you have anyone in mind that fits the description of a prophet from this God that you believe in?
Yeah, all of our prophets throughout the ages, they're all, you know.
You just called Islam a scam, the prophet a scammer? What do you mean? I don't get it.
I'm just making a joke, you know. Don't you think God likes comedy?
No, I think he has a sense of humor.
Yeah, it's called the universal joke. That's the that's the joke. Is you right now are playing the joke on yourself and on me and other listeners, but it's just a joke. And so, you know, at the end it's just silence. That's it. It's beyond words. And God
What
is
happens
beyond
after
words.
we die? What is your belief?
It's like going to sleep. You're going to experience it in just a couple hours when you go to sleep. That is the exact same thing as death. It's like turning the
You're
electricity
right.
off.
Yeah, you can call it a small death. Now, literally, when you die, you're 100 years old. You know, pretty much that's it. You know, your body gave up. You're not waking up anymore. What happens to your
I heard I
soul or something?
my uncle died and he like let out a whelp like you know, and so to me it's possible that your consciousness like goes into a black hole or gets reabsorbed into the universe. So
Well, what would you need to guess? Some other people have told you what truly happened, but you don't want to believe them. So it's better if you just guess around, assume maybe I'm right or.
you asked me a question. I'm giving you a fucking little ditty here, an allegory
Show
joke.
what you believe, dude.
Dumbass, it's called opinion. Did you think my name was
Where do you base it? Where do you base it?
on the conversation we're having right now?
Because I'm asking about the unknown, and you're like, yeah, I know, yeah.
Well,
Like, how do you know?
let me ask you this: does anything exist outside of the now?
Outside of the now, like now?
Now. Now is another word for the word all. All, meaning that there's no past, there's no future. It's a compression in the now. So everything that has happened in the past and everything that will happen in the future is compressed into what we call the now. And that's the conversation we're having right now over our stupid fucking cell phone and wasting our time like little kids. That's it. Think about it really deeply. There's no tomorrow right now. You can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it. You can conceive it, you can think about it, but the molecules in your brain having the thought, that's still in the now. But our brains are so powerful that we perceive words as being objects. When I say water and wet, you know, you're not getting wet, but you can, some people will say, I just got wet, you know, like, you see how we use words and it ends up taking us out of the now because we're always so forward projecting or history projecting. Like that's the problem is people like Mikhail can't be in the moment. The now is all there is, and all of your shtick and all your rhetoric and all of your debate and bullshit is still compressed in the now. And
What
so
about planning for the future? Do you ever plan for the future?
if you want to plan for the future, you got to do it in the now. There's no other way to plan appropriately. If you can't do it now, you'll never achieve any success in the future.
I agree. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So far,
The
I
now
agree.
is all there is. What do you think all means in Allah? All. It's it. It's everything is God. That's all that Allah means. When people were walking around the desert, they were like, "Oh Allah, 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 Allah." They're looking at a bird. They're looking at the sand. They're picking up the sand in the desert, and they're throwing the sand in there. They're like, "Allah, Allah, Allah." That's what it is. All is God. That's what it is.
No, no, don't say that. No.
What do you mean? Don't say that. Yes, that's exactly what it means. I mean, it's my opinion, of course.
God is not His creation. Neither is the creation of God.
This is in the philosophy books, my friend. I know you spend a lot of time working on your engineering projects, but I spend a lot of time looking at these books.
You can look at those books written by people. I'm telling you what God says about Himself. And
Oh, you are the source subject matter expert. Okay, Arbon. It's not your opinion, it's a fact. You got the Mikhail mind virus. You got brain rot, bro. No wonder why you hate your daughter. You're like, oh, I wish I had a son. It's because you don't see your daughter as being divine. Your daughter is an extension of Allah.
The last creation is this. He created heaven, he created hellfire. As people are burning in hellfire, do you think Allah is in hell as well? No. It's just far, far away from that. He can create and he can destroy, you know. He doesn't destroy himself, he just destroys completely into nothing as everything he creates if he so wills it. EMC square, my friend. Energy to matter, matter back to energy.
Ooh. Another satisfied customer. Okay, this has been nothing but lies. This is Snake.
so I'm gonna
That's
clean, and this is for you.
all. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the show. This has been Mikhail, the Muslim Kabbalist, and Lies in Tribalism.